Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tine Tuesday here at the Renewal Center. We are so excited that you're joining us today for a wonderful time of pause, a time to reset ourselves, and a time to build resilience. You are here again at our YouTube channel. And so we're going to ask if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and share this broadcast with others today. We're excited about our renewal practices that we're going to talk about today because, we've been on a journey this month as we observe mental health awareness. I know we've talked about this in different places. Good afternoon, Pamela. It's good to see you. We've been talking about mental health awareness this month, and we are so excited to share that with you, one of our awarenesses. And, as we take the time to think about mental health awareness, I would like to give a quote that's from mental health awareness. It's their theme. Really, it says, in every story, there's strength. It says mental health journeys are unique, but the strength found within it is universal. In every journey, there's strength. In every story, there's strength. It highlights the resilience and the diverse experiences that shape mental health journeys within our community. So we're excited about this particular cause. You know that we want to focus on different ways that we can bring awareness and to advocate in breaking the stigma that surrounds mental health awareness. And we come alongside of these things that we're talking about now, this cause to provide, not to provide, but to advocate for tools for mental health. And so we're excited about that. So again, May is the month of mental health awareness, and the Renewal Center is excited about that. So, as we go forth in this wonderful Tuesday afternoon, we're going to start with our tea of the week. Our tea of the week is white tea. White tea. And I know we've had this a while back, a couple of years ago, actually. White tea. If we do a little research on white tea, it comes from the Camellia sinensis plant, the same plant that gives us green tea or black tea, all of the, those teas. It originates from China, but the difference in white tea is the oxidation process is a little different. And then it doesn't go through so much oxidation as the other ones, the other types of tea. And, it has a very light aroma, a light, delicate taste to it, kind of have a sweetness to it. So if you like teas that are very light and have a like positive properties to it, this will be a great tea, white tea. So we're excited about our tea of the week. Go ahead and put in the chat, well, what kind of tea are you drinking today? We would love to hear about that. And so while tea of choice in the chat, I'm going to start off by saying I am having, I think, apple, cinnamon, green tea, something like that. What are you having over there, Hope?
I'm actually having sparkling water
Okay.
today. Yes, something refreshing. Yes,
You
sparkling
staying
water.
hydrated.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. It's starting to get warm out. So yeah.
Yes. Yes, we gotta
Mhm.
get healthy. So
Yes.
that's a good start. Hello to our executive director. Yes. Hashtag I'm renewal. Okay, so you guys go ahead and put your tea of choice. Okay, Pamela, she's having blackberry citrus. Oh, that sounds
Very, very good tea.
yes, really good.
I
Blackberry,
confess.
two different kinds. You got the citrus and you got the berry together.
Yep. Yeah, it's very good tea. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for
Anything?
sharing.
Well, while you guys are thinking about what you're going to put in the chat, I guess we'll take the time to locate ourselves. So if you're new to the Renewal Center's Tea Time Tuesday, this is a time where we slow down literally and just relax ourselves, pause ourselves, and just get into a place of calm so that we will be ready to receive our renewal practice today. So let's relax our shoulders, do a little deep breathing while we look at our imagery, and then we'll come back in a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
I hope you have enjoyed that time. I hope it's refreshing and you're relaxed. And so we're going to get our journals out and grab our tea. And then we're going to go to a place of renewal practices as hello. How are you, Monique? One of our other leaders at the Renewal Centers. Good afternoon to you. We're going to go into our time of renewal practice and Hope will take it from here.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Carmela. Good afternoon, Tea Time community. I know, Pamela, you are saying it's good regarding that tea, and I tell you, it is good. I have like three. I bought 3 boxes of it, so it's really good. But good afternoon, everybody. And speaking of tea, for those who are just coming on, what are you having for your tea of choice this afternoon? Or if you're having coffee or water. I'm having sparkling water. Carmela, what are you having again?
I'm having this apple cinnamon green some kind of
Oh,
combination tea.
okay. Yeah. Cinnamon and green tea. That
Mhm.
sounds good. Yes, that sounds good. And so go ahead, guys, and chime in. What are you having for your tea of choice or the drink or what you're having today? Make sure you get out your tea time journals and just be ready to be able to journal. Hopefully you're in some places where you can journal, or if not, you can journal later because we will be engaging in that activity this afternoon. Just as Carmela was saying, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we just want to be again. We've been talking about mental health here at the Renewal Center, and that we're honoring it this month, Mental Health Awareness Month. So we want to honor that. And we've been talking about mental health this month, and I see some comments coming in. Let's see. All right. Okay, drinking water. Okay, all right. You got your water. Drinking water since I'm on my way out soon. Okay, very good. All right. Mango pineapple ginger tea. Hmm. Wow, that sounds
That sounds really good.
that sounds good. Thank you so much
Mhm.
for sharing that.
Yeah, it's really
Yes, so we're again, we've been talking about mental health this month, and just the things surrounding it, how we can navigate through it. Some really good tea times this month regarding mental health and um, keeping or sustaining good mental health. And so this is the month that we actually honor that, and just a time to just be more aware and have the awareness of mental health and the mental health awareness. And so we're going to be talking about mental health awareness from a perspective of journaling. And so, again, mental health, it has become, just, with our fast paced society, and, people are doing different things and self care practices and all types of things that they're we trying to incorporate for personal growth as well. And just continuing to have reflection and having awareness on different things that we can do and different practices that we can do to be able to create a profound change when it comes to our very own mental health awareness. And so, with mental health awareness, and even as I was doing some reading and research about it, by no means I'm not a professional, but just doing some reading about it, they were talking about like the current state of mental health, and they were saying, when I was reading it, in my notes, it says that 1 in 5 adults experience like maybe, things going on mentally with them annually. And then then they were talking about the increase, a 25% increase in mental health issues post COVID. And that was very interesting as I was reading, and that it was the number one global burden with anxiety and depression worldwide. That's what I was reading, and I was just, astonished, meaning worldwide, meaning no matter what country, culture, or region this affects, many people different worldwide. And as I was reading, it was saying that it was the number one global thing or global burden that was taking place, just to put that out there. So this is very important that we have, mental health awareness. And so there are just a few things that even as I was reading the different type of common barriers or the different type of stigmas that go along with it, and so like just some things that prevents one from moving forward and bringing that awareness is sometimes like just the social stigma, or it just prevents people from seeking help. Carmela, just different ways people may be apprehensive if they're having mental health challenges. And in these days and times, let's be honest, people are facing a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertain, where things are being uncertain, things are changing, people are navigating changes, and these types of things can bring a place where there is, that anxiety, or there is that, sometimes things mentally that we may go on that ignite these particular things. And sometimes people may not even be able to receive the care that they need, regarding mental health awareness as well. And then there's also just the sometimes people are fearful or in isolation. And so those are just some things I want to share, just foundational wise, before we go into talking about how we can be proactive, because this is mental health awareness. And we talked about different stigmas, different things, the statistics and numbers. We've talked about that, but then there's the time where we're interactive. What are we going to do to ignite change, to make sure that we continue to have a good mental health, and that we are aware of our mental health state? And so today I'm going to be talking about journaling. I'm going to be talking about journaling. And those who really know me know that I am a advocate for journaling. I have so many journals. I have so many different things. And the journaling is a tool for me to be able to, write out what's going on currently in my life, and also keep an awareness and tab of what's going on in my day-to-day life, where kind of gauge where I was particularly then, if I had a bad day. So I use journaling as a way to make myself mentally aware, have a mental awareness for myself. And so we're going to talk about journaling. And so when you think of journaling, what do you think of? If you can write in the comments your feedback, I would love your engagement. When you hear journaling, what does journaling mean to you? Carmela, when you hear journaling, what does journaling mean to you?
Simply documenting your thoughts. That's the first thing that comes to me. There's a way I would describe what it does for us, but the first thing that comes to my mind is documenting what I'm thinking, documenting where I am, and what I may be experiencing at that time.
Wow, that's good. Any comments coming in from anybody out there? If you have a comment you want to engage. All right. Monique says a time to document your thoughts. Absolutely. Just we're all on the same page, and it's writing down our thoughts, feelings, and experiences, consistently. And what happens is, when I understand about journaling, is that when you're writing it down consistently, you're building a self-awareness to what you're writing. You're building a self-awareness. And so this is really, really good. I have another comment that's coming in here. Releasing conversation with paper reflection. Absolutely. That's really good. It's like, and I like what you said reflection. So it's a way of just releasing, and through paper, the reflection. Okay. You could take that one.
Okay. Yeah, Monique is saying it's a way to express and process how you're feeling.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's really been, I would say, really been helpful for me, and being aware of, my mental health and what's going on. And so even when we're understanding this, and mental health. It's a regular practice, it's a therapeutic tool, and it's also a versatile format. Okay, so when I say therapeutic tool, I'm saying like it's used for congenital behavior. It's a way to identify our thoughts and ways and our patterns. It also helps to track our emotional triggers and responses. And I definitely use it for this, not just to I document my life and days experiences as a regular practice. I have a lot of journals, and so I'm able to go back even to look and see, okay, last year this time, what was going on with me. So I'm able to document my actions, my thoughts, my behaviors. I'm able to identify certain thought patterns as well, and it helps me track my emotional state, emotional triggers, and how I responded at the time. And then when I say a versatile format, I found it that you're able to not only journal with a regular journal, but you're able to use the digital apps, paper notebooks. It's effective, platforms for journaling. So you can choose, whatever works for you. I use both. I have a journal on paper, and then I have a journal on my phone. And so the reason I have a journal on my phone is because if I'm anywhere, I can document right in that moment. That's how much I journal. I can document in that moment what is going on, what is taking place, and I can capture that moment at that time. And so that works for me when it comes to journaling. And also it prompts me, in the app I have, it says take a moment, time to journal. I actually get a notification on my phone to tell me, okay, it's time to journal. So it's a really, really great tool for anybody who's really into journaling and really into capturing moments of your life as well. All right. So I was seeing if any comments are coming in. So how many of you journal out there? Go ahead, share with us. How many of you journal out there, and how important is it to you to be able to journal? I know I do it, Carmela. I do it every day. I have it. I said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that I use this fancy phone to be able to. Um, you're able to do all kinds of different things. So again, journaling is regular. It's in a form of therapeutic tool to be able to track your emotions, and it's also in many ways you can do it digital or on paper or a notebook. You can get from the dollar store if you like. They have so many different styles of journaling that you can do. So when we say journaling, the question is, how does this journaling support mental health? And so when we think of journaling, and the understanding of journaling and how it coincides with helping with mental health, it reduces certain symptoms. So it lowers our anxiety, it lowers depression. Even when I was reading statistic wise, it was saying that it also after lowers depressions and symptoms 27% after 4 weeks, it says here. So after 4 weeks of journaling, it can help to lower any type of anxiety, depression when it's done consistently. What's your take on that, Carmela?
Well, I was just jotting down uh, how I would even respond to this, because one of the things I like about this is that you're bringing and you're addressing some of the commonalities people face, and you're bringing a lot of this statistics that support that. And as you're looking at journaling, I like how you're coinciding this, because as you look at how effective journaling can be through addressing some of these things. Journaling is a great tool. I love that. And not just the fact that it's a great tool, but you see just how effective journaling can be when you're regularly practicing these things. Uh,
Yes.
this all of this coincides. I love the fact that we're talking about that today.
Yes. Patrick says self-expression and self-reflection with exploration. All
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
That's very good. Yes. All right. Also says note taking and from time to time tracking my progress.
Hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. Pamela saying, Let's see. I journal often. It provides clarity, course correction, and allows me to see patterns and triggers, truly a tool for personal awareness. All right. I think I have a. You can take the next comment.
Okay, Alicia, she's saying, I do. It helps me decompress and reflect on things, my thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Mm, that's good. That's very good. And so, even thank you all for sharing your comments and interacting, because this is a community and we know it's power in community to be able to help. So we're coinciding the journaling and how it supports mental health, and the numbers and statistics that's saying that it lowers anxiety and depression symptoms. It says here by 27% after 4 weeks. All right. And then it also brings a place of emotional awareness. It helps us to be, it builds a recognition in our feelings and triggers. And I see some of you guys put that in the comment. It brings awareness to your emotional state, because again, the triggers and the feelings that you may have in a particular moment, it's great when we're able to document those things and we're able to look back on it, and we become very aware. And with awareness, there's power. And so, even as we understand first that it reduces certain types of symptoms, it brings emotional awareness, and then it brings insight. It creates a space for personal growth, discoveries, creativity. Journaling is wide impacted, so it brings a place of insight, and it creates space for insight. It creates space for personal growth and creativity, and discovering even more about yourself, or what you may be dealing with, or the thoughts and time that you may be in at that time. And then, of course, it brings resilience. And so we know Tea Time is all about building resilience. And with journaling, resilience, it helps us strengthening how we cope, and how we face challenges and mechanisms, how we face challenges for the future, how we grow from the future. And we're able to document this down. We're able to document how we're growing, how we're navigating, how we're moving. And so these are some ways that journaling supports mental health. Again, it reduces it reduces certain symptoms of anxiety and things like that. Statistic wise, it brings an emotional awareness. We gain insight as well, and we're building resilience through being able to journal as well. Carmela, did you want to add anything to that?
Mhm. Yeah, actually, I was sitting here looking at my notes while you were talking, while you were flowing, and that's what came to my mind is the fact that journaling helps us flow. When we get into a flow of writing, and the word insight, it's amazing. We're thinking the same thing. It's what am I getting? You can also use that as you're flowing. What am I getting? How can I take action on some things? Use it as a tool to talk through or work through some challenges. And I love that because the creativity comes out even if you're not even facing anything that's really, challenging. You can still use that as a way to create. And so this is a great way today of us really talking about how will you use this mechanism to help us move in a greater way. And I think journaling helps us as we take action to some of the things that we may be walking through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Wow. See, some comments have come in. All right, you can take Pamela.
Okay. Pamela says, I journal often. It provides clarity, course correction, allows me to see patterns and triggers. Truly a tool for personal awareness.
All right, thank you so much, Pamela. All
Okay.
right.
Okay. Okay.
You go ahead. It's okay.
And she said, I've made connections easier. Remember specifics when needed and process information better when I want to learn and become one with the content or experience.
Wow, that's good. Thank you so much for that, Patrick. That's real profound. And we're understanding again that if you're just tuning in, we're talking about mental health awareness and how journaling supports mental health. And, what stuck out for me was just resilience, how resilience is built through writing and documentation.
Yeah.
And writing and documentation is so important. And I'm in a place where I'm expanding and growing in how I document my experiences, how I document. I'm becoming more specific in details in my documentation while I'm journaling about my journey or my day or what's going on at work. I'm starting to also ignite certain areas that I just focus on and I just journal on that. Maybe something with dealing with my job, I'll just maybe journal in that place and see, how I'm growing and how I'm facing different things and what insight I can gain from it to help to build and be mentally aware of what's going on. And so, even when we are understanding journaling for mental health, we want to talk about just the practice of it. Depends on our schedule. Sometimes we can set aside. It's about being intentional, and being intentional and dedicating some time to doing it. For me, I have a dedicated time, and I'm also spontaneous. That's why I have the phone, because I'll start journaling at any time. If a thought comes in, I'll start journaling. So you do what's best for you. You may be able to dedicate 5 or 10 minutes daily. Consistency matters more than the duration. It's the consistency. So I stay consistent with it, and I begin to be able to see results. I begin to gain insight from journaling. I begin to become even more mentally aware of my triggers, of the challenges I face, and also the growth. It's not just about just pulling out all the negative, but it's also seeing my growth and development and how I'm gaining mental agility, how I'm gaining mental strength and resilience. And so it's about the consistency. And then sometimes, even like in my journal that I have, I ask questions in the journal, which are kind of like, I would say, a prompt. So the question can be, like, how am I feeling? What am I feeling? What's on my mind? And so that gives me a prompt to be able to write and to be able to journal and be able to use those tools. How am I feeling today? What am I feeling today? Just asking the different questions that actually, matter to be able to prompt us to be able to journal. For those of you who may not journal, or you may not journal, adamantly a lot of journaling, but just some key points and how to journal. And the first thing is consistency. If you're just starting off with journaling, it can be just 5 minutes, 10 minutes set aside to just journal. But as long as you do it, consistency is what matters. Consistency is what brings the change and brings the understanding and releases the insight. And so I keep my entries, my journal entries, judgment free.
That's
So
good.
even as I'm writing about
Mhm.
certain things, and it stays private, but I keep my entries judgment free. In my journal, I have, even a place that says, a place about writing about your mental health. It's a judgment free zone, meaning I'm not going to take the time to journal and say harsh words or judge myself or others through writing through the journal. It's a way of becoming aware of my mental state and what I'm facing and what I'm going through. And even the good moments, especially good moments. I love journaling about good moments. I'm looking forward to an upcoming trip, and I have both my journals with me because I'm going to document good moments, And so in documenting those things, it's a judgment free place that you have. I see a comment. Did you want to add something, Carmela?
Big, just I like that. It's a piggybacking off of that judgment-free environment. I mean,
Yeah.
and you're being real. You're being real. Of course, you're not judging yourself. One of the things I like about that, and I think about the process of journaling and how we use it when you were talking about resilience, that's a great thing to incorporate, having a judgment-free place to record. And then, as you're uplifting yourself, you can become affirming because words are powerful. So if you're taking some words and you're putting some positive words there to affirm yourself, to
Yeah.
uplift yourself, I think that that builds up even more resilience, as a practice. And so
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're capturing how you're feeling, but it's a judgment free. because you're with yourself 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
This is a way to
Yeah.
bring.
I'll be right
This
back.
is a
Yeah.
way to empower yourself, and journaling is a way to uplift yourself. And the work, using the wording, even the wording is amazing. How you can empower yourself through journaling in a positive way too.
Yes, it is. And I want to share something from my journal. It's the making of a diamond journal that I have, and so I just want to share some things. Because you said something about affirmation, self affirmation, and it's a in my journal. There's a lot of places to write, but I'm going to read an insert from page 269, and it says journey, my reflection, and then the affirmation, or it says my image reflects who I am. That's an affirmation that I came in. And then I says, what about your journey or self-image? Write about your journey or your self-image. Remember, the key is being authentic. And this in this particular insert, it gives you an opportunity to write about what you see about yourself. How do you view yourself? What is your self-image? And then then again it says, my image reflects who I am. And
Right.
so basically, when you look in the mirror or when you look at your inner internal compass, what do you see? What's there? And then I give an opportunity to just write about um, what you may see. And then I also share a couple of principles in here, three principles that says your image is based off self-reflection of your inner self. It says embrace every aspect of your image. And then number three, it says your image is not based on your past mistakes or failures. And then there's an opportunity to write about this. All of this to be able to ignite a positive mental awareness of yourself. It's to be able to ignite writing points and questions and principles to share and prompt so that those who engage in this can, receive the understanding of self-image and how important it is to understand what you think about you. And so here I have something that says forward movement, and then you can set goals. Then there's the affirmation and the scripture. And it says, I am a reflection of Christ. And then I have a scripture that's there for an affirmation, and then a prayer, a time to pray and meditate. Now, I'm doing this because I want to help those who may not journal a lot to get an understanding, and I'm using my journal to do this that I had actually had written. And so then there's a place where you meditate on the journal and the affirmation, and then the journal, your thoughts and revelations of your meditation. And then there's the mental health check-in, which is last, which saying take a moment to reflect on your feelings and why you feel the way you do. During this step of your journey, take time to assess your mental, physical, and emotional health. It's important to stay true to yourself. And so this is something and I have different inserts in this journal, the making of a journal, my personal journey, which is a journal, and it has different inserts to prompt ones to become aware of how they feel, their mental state, and where they are to be able to engage. And so that's how we're connecting, mental health awareness to journaling, because writing is the opportunity where I can document and I can look back and I can see and understand where I am. And so even when we're moving forward, we want to again set aside time, use prompts. I use that example from my journal, my published journal, and then have the place of a non-judgment place for yourself. And so even in understanding, and I was reading some things, and I have some statistics, and it says it was regarding students, and it says student success. It says students' well-being increased 18% with daily journaling and journaling. It helped him to increase by 18%. And then even I was reading, Carmela, I seen something about an athlete's recovery. And I was
Mm-hmm.
reading about that. And it was a former NFL player who overcame trauma through structured writing.
Mm-hmm.
Through structured writing. And I was just like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
this is really powerful. Did you want to add anything, Carmela?
I just like the fact that you're sharing that because it's amazing. People don't see the power behind journaling. And I mean, just like what you were saying, the outcome of both of those, the student and the athlete, and how they utilize journaling and how that just impacted their lives in a great way. So sometimes we look at it, oh, it's just writing, but it's so much more than that. And this is such a great tool that what you're sharing, especially the statistics and how effective journaling is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And this is good for our mental health. And I
Yeah.
just want to take the time before we even close to just talk about, how you can set this up so where you can have successful journaling. And so it's an accessible tool. It
Mm-hmm.
requires minimum resources. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get a pen and pad and begin to write, a regular paper, whatever you need to start, and you
Mm-hmm.
will be able to see the benefits. So you can start with what you have.
Right.
Start with what you have, and then have an open dialogue, have conversations about mental health,
That's
and
good.
sharing about how journaling can help to bring a mental health awareness as well. And then you want to have the daily practice, just one page at a time, 5 minutes at a time, and one page at a time can change your life, and it builds consistency, and consistency builds results. And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
when we understand this again regarding mental health awareness and regarding journaling, we want to make sure that we are having interactive, that we're being interactive with what we're doing to engage. You know, even with when we see that it's mental health awareness and we share this as the Renewal Center, what we're doing is we're in conjunction, we're in alignment, and we're celebrating mental health awareness because tea time is all about pause, resetting, and building resilience. Our locate yourself is a great tool. Oh my goodness. I have
Mm,
done it when I have not
absolutely.
been, not just on tea time, but it's been some times I wanted to say something, or something happened, or I'm in, customers, a phone call, or just an experience, and I'll just say, hey, I need to locate myself. And I have done it. And it has given me mental stability to be able to pause, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to connect with what I'm feeling, and allow my nervous system and all those things to begin to calm. Locating yourself is powerful, and it's a time of pausing. And so as we understand and we move forward throughout the month and throughout the year with understanding mental health, the importance of it, and being aware, we understand how important it is to engage and be intentional about being proactive in the things that help us to bring us peace, and help us to bring us stability, help us to gauge, help us to understand and be aware of our journey in our emotional state. And so this, I see a comment that has come in. This is a great way. um, Judgment free journaling.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Judgment
Mm-hmm.
free journaling.
Yeah.
It makes the difference because you show yourself some grace.
Yes. Yes.
We're not perfect. I tell you, life journeys, we have all types of
Mm-hmm.
things that take place, good, bad, confusing, bewildering, whatever it may be. Journaling is a great tool for you to be able to engage in just the different aspects of what you are facing. And before we close, I just want to share one more insert from my journal, and then we will close out and do announcements. And I'm just going to share from my my journal here. Just one more insert. And this insert is journey, the movement and change. And it says move forward with a pace that fosters your change. Write about your journey of change and movement. Remember that the key is being authentic. And this particular insert is talking about you're
Mm-hmm.
moving forward and how moving forward ignites change. One thing that I like that Dr. Paul Brown does is and some of his messages and even correspondence, he'll have the little turtle. And it's important because we live in a world where everybody says that you just gotta be fast, you gotta be quick, everything, come on, the next thing, the next thing. It's the fact that the turtle moves slow, but the thing about it is the turtle is still moving.
Mm-hmm.
The scenery is changing more slower as the turtle is moving. So I like the fact that he uses that turtle because it says you're moving forward. Keep pressing, keep moving forward. Because it doesn't have to be at a speed that's fast. And so sometimes,
Yeah.
even in this world or this society where mental health is important, sometimes we're moving so fast we can't even catch our breath because we're moving to the next thing. We don't take the time to be intentional, to sometimes to be more intentional about where we are mentally and how we can combat that. And then the three principles I want to share is: embrace that you have the power to foster change.
Mm-hmm.
Two, change is necessary for growth. And three, give yourself time to see the desired results. And then I have places where you can write about that. So I want to encourage everyone, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward in forward movement. It's not about the pace or how fast you're moving, but it's the fact that you're still moving. And the affirmation is: I am salt, I am light. All right. And then I share a scripture there, which is Isaiah 43:19. And so I want to be able to say, Lord, we thank him for embracing the change. And we're thankful for being able to move forward in a way that's sustainable for us. We don't want to get indebted into the culture norms. And so journaling is intention. Journaling, you have to take time to sit down and pause, and it's a time to reset, and it builds resilience. So I just wanted to end with that journal insert to encourage all of you to make sure that you take the time out to journal. And if you've never journaled or never been interested in it, just try it and see how it works for you. You could take a minute or 2 minutes just to journal and write about your day. Write about an experience that you had. We're having so many graduations and people, and different things going on this time of year. Write about those
Mm-hmm.
experiences.
Experience.
Write about a dinner or conversation you had with somebody that you didn't have in a long time, or about, maybe I had an old friend contact me and it was good. And so I'm going to write about that experience. It's many different ways that we can write about the change that's taking place to bring a place of mental health awareness to us to be able to document through the path of journaling. Did you want to add
Yes.
anything, Carmela?
This was really good. Really good, especially talking about those steps and the principles that you provided and you shared, and just, all of the different things that came along with, not just, you were reading from the journal, you're reading from that, but not just the steps, but the principles behind them and how you
Mm-hmm.
can get into that flow of discovery. So I
Yes.
love it. Yeah. This has been really good today.
All right, thank you. You guys that's out there, I want to hear from you. You're pretty quiet. Go ahead and tell us, what have you received today? What's your takeaway for today's tea time when it comes to mental health and journaling? Are you going to be intentional to journal more? Are you going to make time to be intentional to prompt that 5 minutes and write about it, what's going on in your documentation? And so I encourage those that you can download, go on the line and you can download a journal, electronic journal, and you can journal
Mhm.
at any moment, at any time. If you don't have the pen and paper right at handy, you can journal, or you can record. I used to record and then I would go and back and write down,
Mhm.
what I record. I do
No,
a
that's
lot, but
good. Yes.
yeah. Yep. And I
Yeah,
will go back and
audio journaling.
audio journaling.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So there's many different ways,
Yeah.
and so we want to invite you. We're going to have a few announcements here, and go ahead and we'll do our announcements, and then we'll be out of the way.
Well, all right. Then we have our morning prayer coming up this Friday. We want to invite everyone to come to our morning prayer. It's on Fridays at 6:30 a.m. Get up, meet the Lord with us with a wonderful morning prayer. We've been doing this for several weeks now, and it has just been really amazing and encouraging to all of us. So you can get the Zoom link, which is the same link that we use for our Reform and Culture Bible study, and it's provided for you right there on the screen. Please go back and write that down, that Zoom link down, so you can join us this coming Friday at 6:30 a.m. for our morning prayer.
All right. Okay. And then we have our
Well, our Reform and Culture Bible Study series is tomorrow. We got one more week after this, after tomorrow. We've been doing the Kingdom of God series. It's our Reform and Culture Bible Study. We have been on this series since last year in the fall, and we're wrapping it up next week, but it's still not too late to come join us. We've been getting some great teaching on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Go to our social media platform so you can get on the link, that you can get the link so that you can sign into our Zoom Bible studies. And then we want to provide this to everyone. So if you just take a minute and take this in, we do have grief recovery specialists at the Renewal Center. And we focus on the program that we have available, that is grief recovery. So as you can see on the screen, we have individual grief sessions, and then we'll have the grief, pain, and stress group sessions that will be coming up. But if you're facing any level of grief, and that could be any level of loss, this is a great opportunity for you to reach out to the Renewal Center. We'll be able to contact you and connect with you, see what needs that you have, and find out more information and give you more information on our grief recovery method. So please, if you would, you can send an email to the Renewal Center at, it's provided, let's see where it is. Is it on the screen? Well, you can go to our
email.
Renewal. Okay, yeah, give the email again.
The email is the Renewal Center 2020 at gmail.com. The Renewal Center 2020 at gmail.com, or our website is the renewalcenters.com. And we have the information where you can fill out a form to receive more information. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you
You're
for that.
welcome.
So please, if you're facing any level of loss, please reach out to the Renewal Center, and we'll be happy to contact you and get in touch with you to provide this information. Anything else there? Digital discipleship is on Sundays at 10 a.m. We thank God for an opportunity to come and fellowship in our time of worship. It's 10 a.m. We do it on Zoom. And then on the first Sundays, we are live here on our YouTube channel. But we ask that you would join us this coming Sunday, or if you want to join us any other live Sundays on YouTube. We're thankful that you're joining in with us for a wonderful time of worship. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. And last but not least.
All right. Well, if you would love to connect with the Renewal Center by way of making a donation, connecting with us because of some of the content that we offer, we're so excited to ask you to partner with us. You can do that in so many different ways. You can give digitally, and there are some great ways to give right here in front of the screen. You can give by PayPal, Venmo, we have CashApp, we have Zelle, and you can give on the Renewal Center's app as well as the Renewal Center's webpage. You can mail a check the old-fashioned way at P.O. Box 1381, Concord, North Carolina, 28026, excuse me. And we would love to, again, continue to provide the content that we provide even here at Tea Time Tuesday. So if you like what we're doing and you want to be a part of what the Renewal Center is doing, we encourage you to give. And we thank you in advance for whatever level of contribution that you're making to us.
All right. Thank you so much, Carmela, for those announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. And we have some comments that have come in. All right. All right. Our executive director. Mm-hmm. All right. You are welcome. Okay. Thank you. You are welcome. Thank you for today's tips. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Great tea time. I am Renewal. Excellent conversation. I'll be more intentional about journaling to experience the great benefits. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you all for joining us on this Tea Time Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you next week for Tea Time. And we are excited. Remember our announcements. And also, one more announcement. I would like Carmela to mention the women at the well. Please, let's not leave that out. The women at the well. Go ahead, Carmela. Don't want to leave
Yeah.
that out.
Yes, we have a lot of announcements. Okay, so we almost forgot that one, but that's all right because we are inviting all of our ladies. Thank you for reminding me, Hope. We're inviting our ladies to come to our first Saturday a month. On the first Saturday, that's going to be the first Saturday in June at 10 a.m. We'll start off with virtual fellowship time, and then we'll have our Women at the Well Bible study series that we are on. So it's never too late to join. We are studying Cynthia Held's book, Becoming a Woman Whose God is Enough. And we are really gleaning from this. So we invite you to come. Check our social media outlets to find out how you can be a part of this and also how you can get your book. Thank you.
All right. Well, we want to thank you all again for joining us this Tuesday on Tea Time. Have a wonderful day. Remember today, I'm challenging you to write down something that happened today. That's the prompt. What happened today for your day? Go ahead and write something down. Again, we thank you for joining us. Remember, I am Renewal, and take care of each other. Until we see you again next Tuesday for Tea Time, have a wonderful
Yes.
and great day.